this is Miranda from My Scrappy Life and welcome back to my channel. This is an amazing summer holiday hop where I am going to use this cut file and show you a bunch of different ways of doing it. So I backed the cut file and I did some acetate. So this is my little trick that I want to tell you about how to do shaker pockets. I take one of my distress oxides, it doesn't matter what color as long as it can show through, and I take my tool and I get some ink on there. And I'm just showing you here where I take a little bit of my foam tape and I put it in there to turn it into a shaker pocket. Because I did all of this other stuff off camera. I took the Bubbles cut files and cut it twice. I will link down below how I was able to do the cut file times 2 like this to get it so it's easy. But what I did is that instead of doing all of the backing, I left some of them empty. And now I'm just placing all of the sequence mix in the circles that were left from the ink. And it doesn't have to be that big of a mark. As long as you've got a distinct little bit, it is fine, because then that way you can be able to place it down in there and then place the cut file on top of it without physically how am I going to turn this paper over or whatever. So that's my technique of doing that without having to put 2 layers of acetate if you're wanting your back main cut file. And that's what I'm doing here. Now I'm just taking off all of this stuff. Now this is a summer hop. There is a lot of us ladies that are getting ourselves geared into summer. So my photo is of my daughter in the backyard playing in the sprinklers, and she happened to pose, and that's my summer layout that I'm going to do on this. So that's why I decided to use the Bubbles cut file from the Confessions of a Paper Addict, and I'll link that down below. And you will see what I do with the cut file pieces. Those circles are from the first cut file. Now the kit that I am using is from the Hip Kit Club, and it had some pink paisley in there. It has some crepe paper, Maggie Holmes, Sunny Days, all of that. And what I'm doing is that I'm making it like bubbles coming in and then all landing at the bottom of the page. And I will tell you that this is a very busy page and I absolutely love it. So I hope that you love it as well. So I'm just placing these bubbles kind of wherever I feel like it, these little circles from the inside of the cut file. I just wanted to place them a little bit, and I am going to off camera do a bunch of stitching. So that's why I'm not placing too much adhesive on it, because the stitching will take it down for me, make them stick. And so I'm just kind of placing them. I didn't want the paper to look seamless. I wanted it to be all over the place. So I switched the papers and I kind of flipped and flopped them around just because I wanted them to look like they're just simultaneously just kind of falling down. And I'm just getting them organized because they were kind of crooked just a little bit. And now I'm just kind of placing them in the right spot that I want them, just to give each little bit of a layer the same. But the colors are right down below. So I made sure that I kept the yellows in one spot, the green in another spot, and so at least through the cut file and the bubbles coming down, they stay the same color. They're just not in order or like the pattern paper. So now I am backing my my picture with a ton of layers. And this is the paper that I was talking about that I used for my cut file. And I backed it with white, close to my heart white paper is what I used, the whispery white. And I am just layering this up. I don't care what colors I'm doing. I don't care where I place the colors. I am just putting them up. And I just want them all over the place. And so that's what I'm doing here. And then of course I distress it and ruffle it and all of that type of stuff. And I'm just placing it all over. I do end up doing one with just the full thing. It's like the whole back of it. But these here are all over the place. I love how these layers turned out. And this does give a lot of dimension, but it's still not that full of dimension. On the respect that when I put it into my page protector, it's actually just completely fine. So I leave it with that kind of like that periwinkle blue color as my background. And the reason why you saw that there's two little foam tapes right there is because I didn't back that circle. There's no point of me doing acetate there because my photo's covering it up. So that's why I did it that way. And it gives it a little bit of extra dimension, and it helps hold it up. So now you will see I combined either my March and April or April and May's kit. I can't remember what I did. I think it's April and May's kit all together. So this is still, I have a lot of papers left, and I have a lot of product yet, and I absolutely positively love all of the stuff I have. So there's some Paige Evans in there, there's some Dear Lizzie, there's the All-Star collection from Crepe Paper, there's Maggie Home Sunny Days in there. There's just a ton, just to name a few. So the kits that I'm working with is the hip kit. While you're watching me embellish, make sure that you go check out Everybody in the Hop. All the links will be down below. The links to the cut file that I am using is also down below. And I also have the hip kit. I'll link it down. Again, I am not a like design team member or anything. I just love their kits. And so I'll link their link down below as well. So now I am embellishing. I embellish the heck out of this, and I absolutely love how this part turns out. And I'm just placing a bunch of little bits down and whatnot, and I'm getting them all glued down where they look good. I just start to stick and glue. And those the acetate, the shaker pockets are just perfect. I love how I just periodically just kind of placed them everywhere. It works out well. And the white, I like that they're white bubbles, and it just pops and brings your eyes down to that main focal point, which is the photo. I tried to make sure that the photo is the main focal point with the bubbles being the background. And I feel like I achieved that. I do like the white. The white does stick out, but that's okay. I don't mind that at all. And now I'm just going through and finding the wood piece chips, jeez. The wood, the chipboard pieces. I find some off of that. And then I start to glue, and then I get some thread out. I did do some threading. Like when I showed you a little bit earlier, it's like a soft pink and a soft blue for my stitching. In my stitching, I did a zigzag on with the blue color, and then just a straight stitch with a bunch of funky back and forth lines with the pink. And that's what I did for off camera. Now, I will tell you that I do move my title, which is Girls Rule, off to the side. You'll see where I place it down on the photo, and I'm like, wait a minute, Miranda, I wanted the photo to stick out, and by me putting that down, it looked like I was trying to cover up some of that green, and I didn't want it to cover up because all of the colors, including her swimsuit that she wears for this season, is all the colors of that paper that I used for the cut file and the bubbles. That's why I used the colors that I did. And let's see here. I do clean up as I go because I do go through quite a bit of these. And this piece I haven't used yet, and there was a ton. So that's where I placed the Girls Rule. I will move that off camera. You'll see that. But they had in this All Stars collection, I think it was All Stars, or All Hearts I meant. They had a bunch of stars. And I take the stars, and that's what I use on there because in the exclusive die cut pack is got a bunch of stars too, and I pull them as well. And I just cleaned them up, and I didn't like the Be Happy the way it turned out, so I just threw it away. I didn't care. I've got another set of these puffy stickers, so it's okay. And then I thought I was going to put the peace sign because she does a lot of the peace sign now. It's like this thing with these kids at this age. I don't get it. And then I go through but it doesn't work, and I don't bring the other one out. And then I start to go through, and I kind of found some flowers to go behind this cacti. This cacti has nothing to do with it, but the colors match, so that's why I'm using it. And I absolutely I cannot wait to dive into this kit a couple more times with the potential photographs that I want to use this kit for. This die cut pack that I'm going through is the first time I'm using it. There's tons of little things in there that I can't wait to use. And let's see here. So I'm pretty much going through. So this is pretty much it. And then you'll see me do some splatters at the end. Still shots are coming up, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.